It has been 9 days since a brutal attack on the residents of Cherry Lane. This massacre, which has been compared to an act of terrorism, has brought not only public outrage, but the wrath of the Jamaica constabulary force and Jamaica's Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Holness. But what has been done since that initial outcry? Has this attack become a 9-day wonder and has been forgotten and swept under the proverbial rug? Well, let's look at some of what has taken place. 5 individuals were apprehended by the JCF. One, in fact, turned himself in upon hearing that he was a person of interest in the killing.
Our response to this heinous crime has been swift and impactful. We have since seized an illegal firearm and have apprehended at least 5 persons. In fact, 1 person turned himself in yesterday. We continue to work tirelessly to uncover the truth and ensure that those responsible are held accountable.
An illegal weapon was also retrieved in the JCF's dragnet of the area. 8 persons have been placed in custody in connection with the attack. The JCF's chaplaincy department have been dispatched to provide grief counselling to the residents of the area.
The careful consideration and review of the current situation and the result of events in Clarendon, His Excellency the Governor General has declared a state of public emergency for the parish of Clarendon. The Honourable Prime Minister has advised the Governor General to make such a declaration on the recommendation of the Chief of Defence Staff and the Commissioner of Police. Our informed assessment is that high levels of violent criminal activity experienced within the specified area is of such nature and such an extensive scale that it endangers public safety.
Our investigation has made significant progress, revealing connections to at least 6 previous violent incidents in Clarendon. These incidents include a quadruple murder in Havana Heights in 2021, a murder committed on April 21st, 2024, and a subsequent shooting and arson that was committed on April 25 in West Park. The other incidents include a murder that was committed on April 29 in the Cherry Lane, a murder that was committed on May 11 along Fogar Road, Maypen, as well as a murder that was committed on May 15 in Yorktown. Unfortunately, our findings indicate that these local violent issues have international roots and incorporate local players, some of whom are incarcerated. These individuals who once were friends in Jamaica had a falling out in the United States over illegal obtained gains, leading to each taking homicidal contracts to incite fear and terror. Criminal actors in prisons were contacted to facilitate these contracts through their criminal networks, resulting in the senseless bloodshed here in Jamaica. We are committed in removing those responsible from our streets and to restoring public confidence and trust in our ability to keep Jamaicans safe.
The Jamaican government on Wednesday offered cash rewards amounting to $25 million for credible information leading to the arrest and conviction of those behind Sunday's massacre in Cherry Lane, Clarendon. This represents the largest ever such reward offered in the country's history. 8 people were killed, including a 7-year-old boy, and 11 others wounded during the attack. Prime Minister Holness, speaking at Jamaica House on Wednesday, said the $25 million fund has been established to fast-track the pace of investigations. Of that amount, he said $6 million will be given for credible information leading to the arrest and charge of any suspect involved in the killings, particularly those who were involved in pulling the trigger. That is up to a maximum of $1 million per person. Another $5 million will be provided for information that results in the arrest and charge of facilitators of the criminal act, up to a maximum of $1.5 million per person. Rewards will also be given for information leading to recovery of the firearms that were used in the shootings and any information on the networks involved in the supplying of those firearms. and $5 million for supplying of information leading to the securing of evidence against the gangs that were involved. Another $5 million has been earmarked for information leading to the arrest and charge of anyone harboring the criminal gangs or their associates, to a maximum of $800,000 per person. In support of this initiative, the Prime Minister highlighted the success of the measures used to apprehend those responsible for the murder of 3 persons, including 2 schoolboys in Salt Springs, St. James last year. He said the traditional methods of secured information sharing can be used, including Crime Stop 311, 119, the National Investigation Bureau tip line 811, MOCA tip line, or the JDF tip line. Once the information has been verified and the relevant details are available, payments will be securely made. That's what the Prime Minister said.
Shane McCullough, commanding officer for the Clarendon Division. We have had a very tragic incident that has left the community of Cherry Lane and the entire Clarendon Division shaken to its core. I want to reassure the citizens and the victims of this heinous act that the police stand ready, and we have deployed all resources at our disposal in seeking and bringing to justice the culprits who carried out this inhumane act. We have visited all the victims of crime. We have initiated from an intervention standpoint our community and safety and security personnel, along with our chaplaincy, who is providing psychosocial support for those persons. Our other stakeholders and partners, such as victim support and other agencies, are also on board, and they have been in the community as of yesterday. Today, they will be revisiting the community, where they will continue that type of social intervention response to this act. We have to think about how we also engage the social intervention component, and we are ensuring that that is dealt with just as aggressively as how we deal with the operational response and the investigative workup around this incident.
Yo, boy, Holness, you think you can stop mass killing? Everybody in a Clarendon over there.
Very shortly after the massacre in Cherry Lane, Clarendon, there was a video circulating on the social media of a man wearing a mask, and he has been seen making threats towards the JCF and definitely towards the Prime Minister, Most Honourable Holness. So far, that man has been identified and placed in custody. He is identified as 21-year-old Garfield Ross of Bloomfield Street, Mandeville, Manchester. Reports are that on Thursday, August 15, between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., a targeted raid was conducted at his premises. He tried to elude the police and ended up injuring himself. He was taken to the hospital, where he was treated and released into the custody of the JCF. Ross is now in custody pending further investigations. We at SNN pray that the families of those murdered in the incident in Cherry Lane are brought some sort of closure by the capture or the placing in custody of those responsible for this brutal attack. And we also pray that it does not become another 9-day wonder, and that the families can really achieve some closure.